I just realized that I haven't made my list video for this season. Fuck. In my opinion, spring is the season that always brings out the best shows. Whether it's the shows that make you feel like bathing in a sea of sakura during a hanami, or the shows that are so intense it feels like the lingering breeze sipping through your spine. Spring this season does not disappoint. What's more special about this spring is that my channel has been open for a year. So, in this season, we have the very popular manga SpyXFamily, yes, you're not supposed to pronounce the X by the way, adopted into an anime, and the legendary Komi-sama is also returning for another season. We then have a few more candidates being nominated for the waifu contest. This season is just exciting. Let's dive straight into the video. Kawaii dake janai Shikimori-san. Well, we're jumping in with our waifu of this season. Or is she though? Let's talk about the good things of this show first. This anime is about a very unfortunate boy dating a very cute and adorable girl who's also in a way cool and manly and handsome when she saves him from his troubles. It's kinda like a reverse of gender roles, like traditional, stereotypical gender roles you can think of, but it's technically not because the boy's not particularly feminine. He's just unfortunate and clumsy and kinda dumb, I guess. But anyway, it is a very chill slice of life romance. Visual's good, the OP's good, the story's interesting. I love the occasional little dig into the characters in the mental. However, if we're comparing it with all the anticipation before its release, it may not be as big as people made it to be. Well, I've never read the manga, so I can't really judge the story at this point. But as a show alone, it's well made. It's just a very good, sweet little slice of life romance. There's not really that sort of progression you see in some like Takagi-san or Komi-san. Rather, it's just skits, maybe mixed with some prequels to the story. If you come in with huge anticipations that it's gonna overtake Komi-san or My Dress-Up Darling or anything of that sort, yeah, you may be a little disappointed. But if you just come in with the expectations of good slice of life romance, you'll definitely love this show. At least I really enjoy the vibes this show gives. It's comfortable, it's chill, it's not really dramatic in any sense. I like drama, but occasionally I also want to slow down in my life. Overall, just a pretty well-made slice of life romance. Summertime rendering. Look, if you don't sail the high seas as often as many of us, then you probably didn't even know the show existed. Because it's in that goddamn Disney Plus jail. Look, Disney, I appreciate Kenobi, but I also like me some more anime, you know? Come on, man. Look, disclaimer, I think we should all try our best to watch anime in the most legitimate route possible, as it gives the producers and animators and anybody involved the compensation they deserved. At least this is how we're really getting new seasons. A little too far beyond my conversation today, but let's get back right into the show. Okay, first off, this show is phenomenal. Almost everything from the art, to the music, to the story is great. It's good that someone with big money is paying to make a show, but it's a pity that this show is behind the jail. Anyway, if you like ReZero, you'll for sure love the show. They based off on a similar premise, the protagonist's ability to revive himself like in a video game, except this anime is set in the real world. While ReZero has its pluses, there are some things that I do think that set this show apart from ReZero. It has a much faster pace than ReZero. At this point of writing the script, I think a lot of information is already unveiled. If you're someone who's not that patient when it comes to understanding the lore or mystery or whatever, I think this show has a right pace for you. It doesn't make it less thrilling, it's still pretty thrilling, you know, and scary at some points, but overall the pace is much faster. However, there's something else we need to worry about. Since this show is gonna get 25 episodes and we're already having quite a lot of information, or at least we think we do, I wonder how they're gonna keep up the mystery or thrill they established earlier in the show. The other thing that may please some people, I think, is the protagonist, actually. In ReZero, although I think Subaru has a great character development, can be quite annoying and irritating at times. I think the MC from this season, this show, will not be as irritating as Subaru. Still a great character, but just in a different way. In a way that is more mature and composed, I must say. Okay, I find myself comparing it to ReZero a little bit too much at this point, but judging this show independently, I think this show is good at handling details. All the foreshadowing is well done, every plot point is pretty well taken care of. I also think the shows have written some great and interesting characters. Overall, this show is very good. One of the spotlights of this season for sure. Komi-san wa Kamusho this season 2. Here we go, baby, here we fucking go. The first season was phenomenal, and I'm beyond grateful that we're getting a brand new season. In my opinion, this season is just as good as better than the first one. We see much more developments between Komi and Tadano's relationship. Of course, it comes with Komi's own personal growths as well. It's really pleasing to see her opening up more to other people, especially Tadano. I love how there are more interesting characters getting introduced, and that there are more stories about them. What I mean is that I feel like that some of these characters have more personal and deeper friendship instead of just the shallow personality associated with them. The comedy bit is how they are really acting out their very dramatic personalities, but the fact that their friendships with Komi are more intact and deep is something that I really appreciate. Speaking of that, I want to talk a little bit more about the whole class. Apart from the circle around Komi, it's also really heartwarming to see the whole class getting closer with each other despite the vast differences in personalities. Throughout the first 2 seasons, it's really like we're watching all of these people grow. Not just Komi, but all of them. Or most of them, This closeness I'm talking about is very well portrayed in the opening and ending. Many people have pointed out how the interactions between classmates have increased throughout the ending, which shows how more tight-knitted the class have become. It's done in a pretty creative way, but what I really also like is the OP. It's about the whole class getting together to film the first OP of the first season. The whole class cooperating, the little side conversations here and there, and of course the little performances of each of the character. The opening is really wholesome. In general, the show's good, except for that one wonky episode maybe. And music is fantastic, stories of course so phenomenal. I really fucking love the show. SpyXFamily. Here we fucking go. The show of the season. SpyXFamily was already very big as a manga, so there's a lot of hype when the anime was announced. This is obviously a very wholesome comedy, slice of life, drama, anime. The whole concept is also very creative in my opinion. How 3 very unusual people have to get together to form a family without the others knowing about the unusualness, and also without themselves knowing their unusualness. The interactions are just very funny, and sometimes of course it's heartwarming to see how this supposedly fake family is getting more and more close and like an actual family. I really appreciate Twilight's or Lloyd's personal development from forming this family. It's really sweet to see him allowing himself to be exposed to more of his own personal emotions. He is a human after all. Let me talk a little bit about the opening. The title of the opening is Mixed Nuts, and usually those pack of those you can buy in, like Costco or any local supermarkets you can find. Usually it comes with like almonds or many other nuts you can think of. And of course, you also have peanuts. But the thing is, peanuts aren't actually a nut. Apart from peanuts being Anya's favorite food, the opening is using peanuts as an analogy to this family. They're like peanuts in a pack of mixed nuts, which means they have to disguise themselves and blend in with the society and not get exposed of their unusualness. I think it's done in a very creative way. Of course, the song is also perfect. Candidate for opening of the season 100%. Let's move on to the comedy part. I've seen two polar sides of the comedy of this show. One being not that satisfied with it, and that is not dramatic enough. One side loves the subtlety. I'm the latter. You know, usually in comedy anime we see very dramatic or emphasizing scenes. For example, like the background blanks out to emphasize like the punchline or something like that. The comedy in SpyXFamily is not like that. It is more subtle. It is in the background. What I really like about this is how this shows everything is happening at the same time. Everything is flowing normally and naturally, and these little comedy scenes are what make it funny and ridiculous. When you catch onto it from the background, it's gonna give you a little giggle too, and it's kind of like an accomplishment. Anyway, anime is art and art is subjective. Some people like it, some people don't. It's fine. Still a pretty good show in my opinion, with good characters, good art of course, and I can confidently tell you that I fucking love the show. Alright, thank you so much for watching everybody. I haven't uploaded in quite a while, but I will try my best to make more videos. What's your favorite of spring 2022? Leave a comment. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified, and I hope I'll see all of you next time.